Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I have been MIA for a week or so. And because I've been MIA, TikTok blocked my ability to live stream from my live streaming platform. So I'm going to be on multiple devices. We're going to try it out. Let's see how this works with my ADHD. I'm already, my brain is getting overwhelmed. It's okay. We're going to be fine. So I asked what this conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is Wargate priming. So we have a solar eclipse coming up on the 29th. That is in 5 days. And with that solar eclipse, it is definitely something that y'all need to be ready. Y'all need to be ready. Yeah. It's just one of those things, you know? It's just one of those things. Let me get the link for that. I feel so ill-prepared right now. Okay. I didn't think about any of this before I went live because, you know, your girl, my brain, we don't work that way. We work through trauma and adversity only. Okay, let me add this up in here. So the 29th, there is going to be a solar eclipse. And that solar eclipse is going to be in Aries. It's going to be a major energetic event. A lot of things are already starting. The things that we need to be aware of, we're probably going to be given that information during this conversation. For those of you who are on TikTok, simply go to the link in my bio, and you'll be able to see this event. Just be over it sometimes, you know. That's just kind of like, oh, I'm so over it. Here. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm almost ready, guys. Just, you know, get ready with me. Solar eclipse. Where is a file? Mother effers. Don't play with me. Solar eclipse 0408. Oh, no, I don't want that. 0329 2025. This, you know, this laptop be playing games with me. I will chuck you across the room, laptop. No, I won't. No, I won't. I won't. I don't want to pay what I paid for you again. So no, I will absolutely not toss you across the room. But I will talk a lot of shit. Okay. At least your girl's honest. All right, here. So if you're on all the other platforms that I'm currently live streaming on, there's the link. Check it out. Let's get started. I have to hold on. I have three more decks too. Gosh. Kind of just like, you know what I'm saying? Just like, can we just take a group nap? Because that feels like a good idea. Actually, no, it doesn't, because I have quite a few sessions today. All right. Mind your posture, lady. Posture. Okay, we're almost ready, guys. This is literally the last of the last. Okay, here goes. Just, no, not that much. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. So what I heard when I asked what we're going to talk about, I heard Wargate's priming. The eclipse this 29th, it's in Aries, and Aries is, I believe, associated with Mars, which is associated with war, aggression. I have been sensing like things are going to be opening up in a very adversarial type manner. Adversary could be something that can really push your ascension mechanics through. Adversity, not adversary. Adversity can be something that pushes your ascension mechanics through. And it's something that we need to really allow ourselves to come to terms with. Not everything is going to be easy in life, and not everything is meant to be easy in life. You know, not everything is meant to be easy in life. And we just have to embrace the fact that we are being given an opportunity that is rare. Okay. This is a rare opportunity. Now, it's also complicated. And so I'm really fucking sick and tired of my electronics.
All right, so you've heard of Jenga, right? And then you've also heard of
No, don't hold on. Let me like this first. Let me, okay, whatever. It'll go back to that. Anyways, let me resume the live. What is wrong with you, TikTok? Okay, if TikTok cuts out again, find me on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube right now, and I'm really not interested in playing games with TikTok today. I'm not interested in playing any type of games. Anyways, so whatever this is, it's complicated. Okay, it's not going to be an easy thing. It's not going to be an easy task to complete. That's fine. That's fine. All you have to do is listen to your soul as it's giving you the instructions that are necessary for you to understand how to move through this period. But see, here's the problem. For many of us, we're not going to be listening. For many people, you think you're listening, but really, you're only listening enough to justify what you want justified. Does that make sense? I know a lot of us have a very distorted perception of how we actually are moving through our spiritual journey. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're, left behind. It doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. But when you begin to realize that your perception of the way you're moving through your journey is very convoluted. All right, I'm done with you, TikTok. I'm just turning that off, whatever. Anyways, when you begin to realize that your perception is very convoluted, it's very congested with the opinions of others. I think that's the best way to frame it. You need to correct that so that you can move through your journey in a more organic, more, I hear the term thought provoking. How does that apply? Ooh. So what I'm hearing is for many of us, we haven't been thinking for ourselves for far too long. Far too long. A lot of the reason why other creators get so irked by me and my existence and the things that I say is because I'm consistently giving this message of you need to think for yourself, that you need to be autonomous from other people's opinions, other people's belief structures, that you need to create these structures for yourself based on what resonates with you as a unique individual. So, So there's a lot going on, right? You have to make sure that you're listening to whatever it is your soul is saying. It says, darkness does not always create. I can't read it for shit. Hold on, let me use my phone. Let me use my phone. Hold on. Hold the phone. I'm gonna hold it. Okay. Darkness does not always equate to evil. Light does not always bring good. Oh, girl. That's a major message. That is a major, major message. Oh, that's okay. Okay, guys. This is an intense message. I think I don't even want to see it today. I feel like I would rather see life through the lens of not being able to quite see, because this is one hell of a message. When that Wargate opens, there's going to be a massive, massive push for the light. Man, I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this. Mark my words. As we head closer and closer towards the 29th and the apex opening of that Wargate that's going to occur during the eclipse, there's going to be a huge, huge push that's going to seem super positive. It's going to seem like, oh my gosh, see, we're doing it. We're saving the world. Light warriors, light workers, people of the light, the chosen ones, this and that. There's going to be a lot of talk about all of that. You need to be very careful. You need to be very, very, very careful. And no, I'm not saying you need to listen to me. I'm saying you need to fucking listen to yourself at this point, because the things that look beautiful, look angelic, sound advanced and so evolved, they're trying to ensnare as many as possible. They are trying to ensnare as many as possible. Now I understand why TikTok is hell fucking bent on me not live streaming this message. Now I understand. Because first, TikTok, for no reason, took away my ability to live stream using this app that I use to broadcast across 8 to 10 platforms simultaneously. It revoked my access to that. I haven't even been live. Like, what are you revoking my access for? So I'm like, that's fine. I'll live stream off my phone. Twice already, TikTok has taken my live stream off. I have not even said anything that would trigger that. It's only been a few minutes. I barely was able to shuffle the cards. Why? The primary platform that is being used to ensnare as many as possible is TikTok. Y'all, it's time to see clearly. You need to enter into a space of high priestess of spirit. High priestess of spirit. You need to step into a space of authority over yourself, over your journey. You need to make sure that you step into a place where your courage far outweighs your fear. It's okay to have fear. Be as afraid as you want to be, as afraid as you choose to allow yourself to be. Acknowledge that fear. It's not about pretending you're not afraid. It's about what you do while afraid, while unsure. That's actually what courage is. It's not the absence of fear, it's what you do in the face of it. So, all of this is going to play out in a specific way. I'm not allowed to talk about how that specific way goes, but you can use your imagination. You can absolutely use your imagination. There's going to be a lot of people who will use very buttery words, very just, and I'm not speaking about anyone in particular before people start saying I'm talking about someone. No, you fucking troublemaker. I'm speaking in general terms here. But if the shoe fits, bitch, lace that shit up and lace it tight. Anyways, so there's going to be a lot of buttery words that are used. It's going to feel like there's some type of resonance. But is it resonating? Or is that vibration that you're picking up on, that butterfly, tingly feeling, is that a warning from soul? I don't know. You're going to have to discern that yourself. It is not for me to tell you how to travel through this period of your journey. Okay? It's just not. It's not. I will give you a little bit of a tip. Any type of sensation, energetic or emotional sensation you feel from the bottom of your heart down, the lower that is, the more it's a warning to avoid, to side skirt it, to not allow any interactions, to not allow it into your field of awareness. Anything that's from the center of your heart on up, that's your soul letting you know you need to experience this. It might be pleasurable, it might not. I don't know. It really depends on your soul and what your soul is asking you to experience and how you receive that. But that's a general rule of thumb. The lower it is, the more it's a warning from the soul. For the ladies who are like programmed by social media, and I know this is an offensive way to put it, but I don't know any other way to put it outside of being very blunt with my truth. There are ladies who have been programmed by social media to believe of the coochie quiver. I don't know if that's the term. I don't know. Something about a quiver down there, right? Ooh, girl, baby boo, if it's quivering, that means leave that boy alone. Leave them the fuck alone. They are going to ravage your life in the most heinous way. It's not even going to be like, ooh, girl. No, it's going to be like, ooh, girl. You know what I'm saying? You know the difference between two? If you don't, and you don't heed these words, you gonna find out. It's a learning experience. Make you stronger. It'll wreck you first. That's the truth. It'll wreck you first, and then it'll make you stronger. And y'all, please understand, I have no interest in people completely disregarding this message from soul and then coming to me later on and being like, Emmy, you were so right. I'm not interested in being right at all. At all. I'm giving you guys whatever information you need to make the decisions you need to make, and you learn in whatever way you choose. That's it. There's no right or wrong. You learn in the way you choose. Okay. If you want to learn something in a less painful, less destructive way, then you need to select the options that lead to a less destructive learning opportunity. Regardless, you're going to learn. It's not a bad thing. Regardless, you're going to learn. There's an inconvenient thing, of course. Do you want to be inconvenienced? It's up to you. It's totally up to you. If this is resonating, your soul probably made sure you were present here right now so that you could have this message and avoid what needs to be avoided. It's up to you though. So, oh, you see what I'm saying? I didn't even look at the cards. Lust. So this is telling me that as you're stepping into this high priestess of spirit, let's bring that card back out. Excuse me. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. We got to take it all the way back. So the card before the high priestess of spirit was the listen card, and it came in reverse. And this is indicative of your soul letting you know that you're not listening. Okay. So if you're going to listen, good. If not, I mean, it's up to you. That's perfectly fine. I have no say in that. So 23. And then, of course, came the High Priestess of Spirit. We'll go back to that. The card after High Priestess of Spirit is 24. If you're not going to listen, dark, malignant things are going to be using that lust. Lust. 2 plus 4 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5, 6, 7. Either way, your soul is using these opportunities, these situations to get you to a space of completion. And you will be complete once you step into that space of being the high priestess or priest of spirit. You need to take charge of your life and your journey. That's the bottom line. You need to take charge of your life and your journey. And, what you decide is what you will live through. That's not a bad thing. That's not a good thing. It's just a thing. Your opinion of what it is you're experiencing is what's going to give you the impression of good, bad, wicked, amazing, whatever. Okay. Summon. It's in reverse. Whatever this is wants you to enter into a space of feeling like you're not welcome in this new space created for you by your soul. As, excuse me, as the Wargate primes, it's definitely going to be something where you're going to need to make some choices. Some of these choices will be difficult, but you're going to need to find the courage to choose what needs to be done for you. I don't know what needs to be done. I don't even know what you're facing. I'm just giving you the messages from soul. You need to be able to be flexible in your strength. So rigid in reverse. You need to be flexibly strong, right? Michael says to go back to the summon card. Oh, card number 13, summon. I did not awaken. I was summoned by soul to step into my proper place of purpose, proper space of divinity, and proper awareness of the gravity of me. I was not awakened, I was summoned. Tell yourself that a few times. Are you experiencing the things you're experiencing because you're awakening? I beg to differ. You've been woke your entire life. Feigning sleep is not the same as being asleep. You can't wake someone who's pretending to be asleep. Denying yourself, denying your gravity, playing small, compacting yourself into a space that was never designed to fit you, to house you, to support and facilitate your purpose in this life. That's not being asleep. That's a decision that's being made. So were you awoken or were you summoned? Did the people who is waiting for you to step into your rightful place summon you through their struggles, through their silent tears? Were you awakened or were you summoned? Here you are, afraid of who you are, what you are. And in that, you are failing to even acknowledge that an unknown number of people are waiting for you to step into your proper place. This is an intense period we're entering into. Very intense. You haven't forgotten. So this remembrance card, it sometimes will indicate that you've forgotten something, that you need to remember something. You haven't forgotten. You've chosen to imagine a different purpose, a different life, a different path than what was originally destined for you. This pre-planned set of events that will help you to fulfill whatever you promised to do in this life. You imagine something different. Now, why would you imagine something different? Because someone in your life, between the time you were born and now, convinced you that you can waste your time blaming someone else, or you can just accept that as it is, like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Where do I go from here? Wherever your heart leads you. It's through the heart that the soul speaks to you in a language that is felt, not heard. So what does your heart cause you to feel? Are you in a space of grieving the life that you thought you were going to live? Grieving a potential that was never reached? And when I say that, I mean, maybe you saw the potential in someone and you failed to realize that they have a say in whether they will reach that potential or not. So they chose not to. And now you're grieving the end of a connection. I don't know. I don't know. This is a lot. This is a lot for so many of you to kind of sift through and begin to understand, begin to accept about yourself and your journey. The more you push away the reality of what your soul is helping you to embrace, the less you will feel protected. There is a specific parameter that soul is able to access and provide for you, that specific bandwidth. And the further you diverge from the path you're supposed to be on, the less soul will be able to access and provide for you. You ever wonder why your life is so hard? Have you ever wondered why things seem to come so easy for other people, but for you, it just seems so hard and so unfair, and the struggles feel so unnecessary? And then you start to feel and think that maybe you're just not one that's loved by creation. I call bullshit. I do. I call bullshit. I call absolute bullshit. It's not that you're not loved, it's that you keep trying to go in a direction your soul is trying to protect you from. It's not me, it's not someone else. Your soul is trying to protect you from experiencing things that are unnecessary, but you keep acting like you know better. How can you know better when you have no idea what's in store? I'm not saying I know more than you. I'm just sharing with you the things that I've come to realize about my own journey. Much of my life, I was groomed to be a licensed medical professional. I was thinking as a child that I had the free will to choose. And so I chose cardiothoracic surgery with a secondary specialty in neurological surgery, neurosurgery. And then I also wanted to kind of play in the ER for a bit. I thought that was me exercising my free will, having some control and deciding for myself. And the funny thing, every time I tried to complete more credits so that I could finally accrue enough credits to matriculate and then apply for medical school, some major life event would happen that would cause me to delay and delay and delay. And, at one point I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So I'm not supposed to be an allopathic doctor / surgeon. I'm supposed to be a naturopath. So I began to explore the process to matriculate to Bastyr, which is a very well-regarded higher learning institution for those who want to explore the natural way to help others heal. Same type of life circumstance occurred, and I was like, what am I not getting? Oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to be a doctor. I have the capacity to be one. I'm extremely medically inclined. And you just give me a few minutes to Google things. I promise you I can go toe to toe with specialists and surgeons. And I have in the past, multiple times for multiple family members. And I did it so competently that these licensed medical professionals thought that I was actually a doctor myself in a different hospital in a different state. And I was like, no, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm uneducated. I never finished college. I'm not designed to. That doesn't mean I've stopped learning. I love to learn. Anything and everything. I love to learn. So to honor that part of me and my character, Soul has made it possible for me to audit for free Ivy League college courses. And I can choose to get credit or not. Yes, I never stopped learning. But I did stop trying to convince myself that I'm supposed to be something that I was never destined to be. I believed I was because someone in my environment, multiple people in my environment, kept stating things that was pushing forth a program, causing me to believe I'm to be something that I'm not. And some of you might be like, what's wrong with being a doctor? There's nothing wrong with the education. There's nothing wrong with the individual, but there's everything wrong with the politics of it. Yeah, the insurance aspects of it, the ways in which my other gifts will be suppressed in order to be able to function within that field of service. So that was never for me. But I was so heavily convinced that I had failed because I imagined for myself a life that someone else created based on their opinions of how I will serve their existence. Let that sink in. These people who love you, they probably do. They probably love you. But the things they want for you, is it more to serve their idea of how you will serve their life and their comfort down the line? And that's very common for many cultures. It doesn't make them bad, but it does give you an awareness of where this program is coming from and why it is imperative that you no longer participate in that program and you begin to listen to the guidance of your own soul. You have to listen, not to me. You have to listen to your soul. You have to listen to that guidance. You have to live with intention. You have to. You have to. That's non-negotiable at this point. To try and live in a way that's not intentional, you will forego your prosperity. You will forego your own prosperity. This is a choice that is being made. And that's that. Okay? So, as things begin to ramp up, yep. Oh, sugarless shish, yeah. I don't even know what I said. Okay. As things begin to ramp up and windows, timeframes, opportunities are coming to an end, you will feel a decline, a lessening of your intensity, your power, your drive, your focus. If you haven't already decided to be in full alignment with whatever your soul has planned for you, not even knowing what that is, that's going to require blind trust from you, okay? If you have not decided that for yourself, then things will begin to decrease and decrease and degrade and degrade and degrade until you begin to feel like you're nothing but a hollow shell of who you used to be. That's part of how this W8R will begin. I think for some of you, you're already feeling it. And you have been. For quite a few weeks, you've been feeling it. You've been feeling exhausted. No matter how much you rest, you are exhausted physically, emotionally, mentally. No matter how many supplements you take, you are exhausted. Why? The intensity of your divinity is declining. If you are choosing to live strictly in human terms, you don't need all that energy and potentiality. Your soul will honor that. Mark my words, your soul will honor that. You just want to be normal? Okay, I used to say that. I used to say that quite a bit. I just want to be normal. I want a normal life. I'm not made for that. The crazy shit that consistently happens in my life is my normal. The war inside me ended when I accepted this is my normal. This is my norm. There's nothing I have to be afraid of. There's nothing I have to shy away from. This is my norm. The unnecessary will be prevented. The necessary will be allowed. And I am simply to flow, observe, and be present. That's it. That's it. So if you're going to declare W8R on a people, you need to first break their spirit. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. You have to make them feel hopeless. You have to make them feel unheard, unseen, unacknowledged, disrespected, disregarded. Look at how the world is going right now. Everything priming for this very thing. I had never thought of it that way. For those of you who are like, but I'm just me. What's so special about me that I would need to do all of this? You have spiritual dysmorphia. I'm not even joking. Divinity dysmorphia. Yeah. You can't see yourself in the proper light. Not only are you not seeing yourself in the proper light, you're looking at a funhouse mirror, one that distorts your true dimensions. Yeah. Someone commented, definitely what Donald Duck is doing to everyone right now. Oh, and it was also primed by Biden. And if y'all think that Harris was going to be your savior, she don't give a fuck about anyone either. Yeah. They all come from the same beast. A beast that feeds from your fear, from your suffering. Why you keep feeding that beast? You want the beast to be able to be beaten? You have to starve it. Starve it. Let it starve so it becomes weakened. How do you starve it? By no longer being afraid of the very things you need to experience in order to understand the full gravity of you. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. And before anyone says the system is broken, we need to fix it. Actually, it's working exactly as it was designed to work. It's not broken at all. It's actually a very well-oiled machine. Very, very efficiently designed. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. So that's the secret. They didn't want you to know. They're going to bury this video. Just like they bury all the videos that I record that will completely change your entire life. They will bury this video. That's okay. The ones who need to hear this, the ones who have volunteered to help facilitate the transition into the old way of being, a way of peace, a way of unity, you're going to find this video regardless. You're going to hear it, and it's going to create reverberation within you, deep within your core. And then you're going to feel it rise up above your heart, and then you're going to feel it vibrate in your throat. And as it vibrates in your throat and awakens ancient codes that overlay your larynx, emotions will rise. You'll begin to feel something. And you will begin to wonder, oh my God, why do I feel this way? Why am I so emotional over this? Like, whoa. Do you want me to tell you? I'll tell you if you want to know, but only if you want to know. Humans were not designed to be confined to third dimensional consciousness. We weren't. Our original design comes from a portion of the etherogenetics that was used to create humans as we are now. It's within our birthright to be able to access all dimensional levels of consciousness, all the way through to the core of creation's consciousness, the core of Creator's brain. That is a throne room, the center. But because of certain things having to do with the Ijiji, the Anunnaki, all of these different circumstance, antediluvian circumstance, there were corruptions that were intentionally introduced into our etherogenetics to phase lock us into third dimensional consciousness and awareness. Why would they do that? Because our bodies are battery packs. Our bodies are battery packs. Your skin is a solar cell. Why do you think they don't want you in the sun? Women, why do you think it's been programmed in your head you will be ugly if you don't wear sunscreen? You will crinkle. You will look old. No one will want you anymore. Why do you think? We, as the creator goddesses in flesh, we are being manipulated to further the depletion of our own creative energy. Your Shakti is shut. I'll show you something. I'm 46 years old. Tell me where I've crinkled. And I'm dehydrated right now. Tell me where I've crinkled. Tell me where the ugliness has crept in because of age. I haven't worn anything but moisturizer on my skin since my 20s. 20 years. Nothing but moisturizer. In my 20s, I was at my most sickest. I was a vegan, raw vegan at that. On top of being a vegan, I was religiously going to the gym. After I would do some weightlifting, I would then finish it off with an hour of Ashtanga yoga. I should have been fit. I should have been my healthiest, raw fucking vegan. That's living food, living energy. Yet I was at my weakest and most unhealthy. I felt like I was literally dying for 6 years straight. Why? Because unfortunately for me, during that period of my life, I was heavily participating in the customs and programs of my people. Filipinos struggle with colorism. Yeah. The people in my environment, not my husband, but the people in my environment convinced me this is darker than what I was back then, that I was super dark, that I would be so much prettier if I was sickly pale. I would never allow the sun to touch my skin. Always long sleeves, always with a hat, always in the shade, tons of sunscreen on my face, on my body, layer after layer after layer. Gave myself the most intense vitamin D deficiency. Ain't that some shit? So even though I was doing all these things that should have made me healthy, the war inside me ensured that I would be the most unhealthy I could ever be in this life. Yep. The most unhealthy that I could ever be in this life. My husband did an experiment a couple weeks back. It was an experiment. So he wanted to see the effects of when he pisses me off. I'm not even joking. He went ahead and he pissed me off, which only he can piss me off in this way. And then he took my blood pressure. Once upon a time when I was still at war within myself. Excuse me, that would have sent me into AFib. I would have had an irregular heartbeat. My blood pressure would have been through the roof. I would have started with tremors. I would have went into a hypoglycemic state. And then I would have gotten extremely aggressive because now I'm in survival mode. He took my blood pressure and it was normal, but on the low side, right along with my heart rate. My heart rate, I think, was like 50 something, 60 something. And I looked at him and I was like, ha, ha. Why? Because now I'm in a state of flow. I'm just in a state of flow. Shit happens, you get pissed off, and then you let it go. Shit happens, you get pissed off, and then you let it go. Say that a few times. Something pissed you off today, shit happens, you get pissed off, and then you let it go. Shit happens, you get pissed off, and then you let it go. How do you let it go? I don't know how to let go, Emmy. Fucking exhale. Let it all the way out. Completely empty your lungs and hold it for 5 seconds. And when you breathe back in, very controlled, very slow. Now you're existing with intention. Now you are fully present with authority intact. You want to try it? Okay. So breathe in. Exhale slow. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. How do you feel? That tension you were holding? It's probably mostly gone. If it's not fully gone, do it again. Breathe like that again. You have to begin controlling yourself and your existence. As spiritual warfare starts to break out around you, it will begin to affect people's behaviors. People will start to act a fool. People will become extremely aggressive and very delusional, very emotional in their view of everything. Simple communication will feel as though you're intending to offend. You can't fix that. As long as you know your communication was not intended to offend, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just keep living. You're supposed to just continue with your journey, continue with your life. Okay? That's all. That's all. So that's the negative aspects of what's coming, right? a new dimension is opening up for the collective whole. It's seventh dimensional frequency. We entered into the 5D back in the end of 2016, the beginning of 2017. And we have been moving through dimensional consciousness as a collective whole since then. We have been anchored in 6D for quite some time now. Again, you have these people who are of the light and chosen and light worker, light warrior, right? They'll tell you like we are approaching 5D. No, we've been there, done that. The collective, it doesn't matter what your practice is. It doesn't matter if you meditate. None of that matters. Just as a collective whole, we've already been anchored in the upper portion of 6-dimensional consciousness for quite some time now. Remember, I told you earlier, you can't wake someone who's feigning sleep. So these people who, you're like, well, what about these people who still act like they're asleep? Baby, they're acting. They already know. They're already aware. They're just struggling through their cognitive dissonance. And cognitive dissonance has become weaponized. It's a part of the psychological warfare theater. Yeah. They've been fucking with your head your entire life. They've been fucking with your head your entire life. Yeah. So you can either get pissed off and shut down. Ooh, take action today. Your future depends on it. Bitch, what? I literally just got this message. Take action today. Your future depends on it. Okay, so 324, 1227, 324, 1227, 78%. 324, 324. The foundation was laid before we were being guided back to ourself, back to our divinity. 3 plus 2 plus 4 is 9. 78. This process will be complete when we converge both our parts. Continuing to exist as a duality is no longer acceptable. It's no longer feasible. You just can't do it anymore. That's why you're getting so offended by all of these different things that are happening in your life, in the world, the things you're seeing. It's pissing you off because guess what? Those are things you shouldn't have to tolerate. Those are things none of us should have to tolerate, yet we have. You're exiting out of that space. So now you're entering into a space where you're able to recognize these upside down cycles that we've been in. Oh, what does that mean? It means listen to your intuition. Intuition is guidance from soul. What's your intuition trying to tell you? That you're about to level all the way the fuck up. Blu-ray awakening. You know what a Blu-ray is? Do you know what a Blu-ray is? Your chakras are representative of a dimensional band of consciousness. Each band of consciousness, it flows within a specific parameter of that frequency. So when you're in the band of consciousness that registers as blue, there's various shades of blue that all fit within that band. So a Blu-ray is someone who operates from that blue band of consciousness. Okay, what does that mean? Well, frequency is consciousness, and consciousness can be observed in both an audible way as well as visual. Depending on the oscillatory rate that you're observing, you can see a frequency show up as a specific color. The frequency of the third eye is blue. What does that mean? Blu-rays will have their third eye open. 7, 6, right? 7th chakra, 6th chakra. What did I tell you? We've already been in the 6th. You can't open your eye until you hit the 7th. Why? Because of the way creation is a stair-step creation. You can only experience the frequency beneath where you're actually anchored. If blue rays are awakening, that means we're being anchored into the 7th. And if we're being anchored into the 7th, that means there are already a specific amount of us anchored and pulling from the 8th. You know what the 8th chakra is? The high heart. That's a precursor to direct connection with the soul. Do you know what that means? Christ consciousness, divinity speaking directly to you. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? They want to halt that. Why do you think the chakras stop at 7? They never wanted you to access your Christic consciousness. Yeah. Why do you think they shadow ban me across all social media? Because they don't want you hearing me say these types of things. Why do you think people just, I don't know, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, I don't remember how long ago, last summer, why do you think they went so hard, not necessarily attacking me, attacking my academy? Because I opened the floodgates to information you will not find anywhere else on the internet, anywhere else in the world, not in esoteric texts, not manuscripts, not scrolls, not none of that. They don't want you to know. So then what do you do if someone doesn't want you to know? I mean, my general rule of thumb, if someone who's very adversarial towards me doesn't want me to do something, know something, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to double the fuck down and do the exact opposite of what they want me to do. You want me to disappear? Let me live stream more. Because fuck you, bitch. I don't give a shit what you want. I'm not your mom. I'm not. I'm not. See, that's the trap that's being set for you. They're telling you to come to the light, come to the light. What did they say about me? I'm not of the light. I'm dark. I'm wicked. Wicked why? Because I take the power they were harvesting from you and I give it right back to you and I say, fuck that shit. Do what you want. Well, you're not hurting people. Learn in the way you want to learn. Well, I mean, are you saying I can go to church? I'm saying whatever the fuck you need to do to connect to your divinity, do it. Is it hurting someone? No, do it. Do it. Connect with your divinity. Expand your awareness of yourself. Forget the trap. They want you to be this delicate flower ripe for the plucking. I am a delicate flower equipped with thorns. Don't mishandle me if you don't want to bleed upon them. Because the thorns themselves do nothing until mishandled. And I will no longer apologize for being equipped by soul, greenlit by God to exist in the way that I exist. It is not my fault that you misunderstood what actually lives in this body. You see, people will see you in the way they choose to see you. And during this period of priming for internal and societal war, what's going to happen? They're going to see what you project, and they're going to make a judgment call based on that. And so what does that mean? Excuse me. That means if you allow yourself to be witnessed as a kind person, a patient person, a loving, compassionate person, those who are predatory in nature, they will choose you as their prey. I wish a motherfucker would. Why? I come equipped. I come equipped. That says it all. Do I like conflict? No. Is it my preferred reaction or response? No. So then what makes me formidable? The fact that I know my softness is my strength, and it's backed by everything that's necessary to subdue, negate, and neutralize anything that stands in my way. It is what it is. I prefer kindness. I prefer gentleness. I do. I do. That part of me that was witnessed years ago on Facebook, everyone was drawn to that. That wasn't an act. That's a genuine part of me. But that's not all that I am. The reason people were able to very much prey on me, victimize me, and all these other things that they tried to do was because I allowed it. Because I was ashamed of the fact that I'm so fucking well versed for all types of war. Like my siblings know this. They don't start shit with me. Why? Because that sibling of theirs is a fucking little savage. Just don't start shit. I'll be very, very chill. I won't interfere. I won't do any of that. Just don't start shit with me. Don't drag me into shit. Don't. Because once you do, you can't control what I will choose to do, whatever that might be. I have no fear of confrontation. I have no fear in the face of aggression. I don't. Absolutely not. That's not what I was made for. I am not a damsel. I am a warrior queen, goddess in the flesh. Don't invite me to something I'm designed to fucking win. That's on you. I get to choose what I show up to. People can invite you all they want. And I promise you, during this period, they're going to be inviting you like, I don't know. I already have a plan. I'm just going to be telling these motherfuckers, like, I'm not friendly. I'm serious. That's my intention. That's my plan. Not friendly. Don't talk to me. Not friendly. I'm going to listen to my intuition. I'm going to clock people as they are. And I'm not going to shame myself and tell myself I'm being a mean bitch because I can see past the illusion you present to everyone. You know why wicked people are afraid of my eyes? Aside from being able to see themselves in it. Do you know why wicked people are afraid of how dark my eyes are? It's not because I'm evil. It's because I can see down to your core, regardless of your shield, your cloak, and all your defenses. I see down to your core exactly who you are. It scares them. It scares them. Oops. So I'm no longer going to allow myself to gaslight myself into believing that I'm inaccurate in my assessment of people. And part of what causes you to struggle with this is that program that has run rampant across social media, the judgmental program. Like, don't be judgmental. That's the most asinine thing I've ever heard. Why? You need judgment in order to utilize your discernment. Being able to judge a circumstance as a positive or a negative for you and your experiences, that's not being mean. That's appropriate. It's necessary. What you shouldn't do is condemn. Condemn is a negative aspect of judgment. I don't condemn people. I judge whether their presence in my life and my journey is something that is conducive to my healing and my growth. And the people who are extremely manipulative, they will tell you, I'm manipulating you, I am using you, because I will only allow the people who I can benefit from to remain around me. I call bullshit, because everything that I have, everything that I am, I fucking earned myself. Everything I do, I built myself. I taught myself. I created myself. And the people who would claim that I use them, scam them, they're just fucking pissed that they no longer have access to me, because they plan to do that to me, but I cut them off before they could. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? And I know I'm not the only one with that story. I know I'm not. Stop warring with yourself. Allow yourself to see with clarity who you actually are, who you've been this whole time. There was a circumstance recently where someone publicly shared something without my consent, and it wasn't necessarily bad, but it upset me because there was no communication regarding what they were going to share, their plan to share. And, these are things that, I share of myself in these spaces. And if you're not asking me if I'm comfortable with that, that's like a violation of my privacy. That's how I received it. Now, I know this individual is not malignant. They weren't trying to hurt me, right? At all. They weren't trying to hurt me. That was not their intention. But here's the thing. It didn't feel right to have such a sacred space be so publicly shared. I had to judge that circumstance, that feeling that I felt. And then I had to acknowledge I have a right to feel this way. And once I did that, I had the option. Do I start a war? Or do I simply communicate with compassion and grace in a very concise, very clear manner my needs? I could have contacted legal, had them write a cease and desist, and create all kind of is that necessary? Is this person being intentionally malignant? No. No. It was inconsiderate. But was it intentionally inconsiderate? No. So instead, I reached out and I was just like, it feels like a violation of my privacy. Please take it down. And they did. And that's that. They're a bad person for it? No. They were unaware. It's up to you what you'll do in this period. Are you going to be the impetus for the war that starts in your life? Or are you going to step in a space of authority, a space of personal power over your personal journey, communicating your need, and then choosing what next step to take after they show you whether they will honor your sovereignty or not? Now, if my sovereignty and my clarifying my needs was not honored, absolutely, you will receive a notice from my legal team. I don't fuck around at this point. I will not lose sleep over it at this point. it will be what it is. A legal action. That's that. No emotion involved. Did it have to go there first? No, not at all. Not at all. No. If you can move through this period recognizing the ways in which you're either choosing to initiate conflict, like a deepening, a worsening of that conflict, or you are providing an opportunity, a hand held out to help them understand where you are coming from and your needs, and coming to a space of compromise and mutual understanding. I mean, those two options, they end up in completely different ways. And it's up to you what you're going to choose. Regardless, you need to free yourself from judgment and free yourself to love. Free yourself to love yourself. Free yourself to be who you are, to have your needs known, right? Again, for that individual, if they watch this, I even told them, I know your heart. I know your character. I've known you for a very long time. You were not trying to hurt me. It did hurt me though, but you were not intending to. And I deeply appreciate that my request and my communication was received in a very compassionate, very respectful manner. I appreciate that. I am not angry. I'm not. Initially, if I'm going to be completely transparent, initially I was. Because again, it felt like a violation of my privacy. Did I need to be angry? No. Did I need to acknowledge that that's how I felt? Yes. When I acknowledged that's how I felt, I was able to recognize there is a necessity to communicate my need. Relax a hold of darkness and be at cause. If you can allow yourself to stop being so afraid of your own shadow, because in social media, they've been priming you for this internal war. It's going to start as an internal war. They've been priming you. Ooh, she's so dark. What? I'm sun-kissed. Shut the fuck up. I'm toasted coconut. Stop it. You can either let people get in your head, right? Or you can be the one in your head, sifting through everything, recognizing the ways in which you are no longer going to continue to repeat those same patterns. You are no longer going to be a prisoner to your own fear, your own struggle with receiving your sovereignty, with following your own rhythm, allowing yourself to move and flow in the way that soul is asking you to move and flow. Restore and replenish. For many of you, this is kind of the position you're in now. This is how you're feeling. It is what it is. Let yourself rest. Rest, recuperate, and then release a dark wound to let love live. You're holding on to the thing that hurts you, thinking it will hurt the other person. You're just getting real stinky. Ew. Ew. Don't be stank. Stinkity stank. Seriously. Let that shit go. Yeah, so what? Someone pissed you off. Okay. You still pissed off? Well, it sounds like a you problem, isn't it? Right? Is that something you're choosing? No, why would I choose to be pissed off? Well, because you have the option to focus on something else. So if you're going to just focus on that, that's a choice. That's a choice. So if you don't like being pissed off, focus on something else. So I was at the gym earlier, and there's this one gentleman that I sometimes will talk to. And I was going through something last week, so I didn't live stream. I didn't go to the gym. And he like goes up to me. He's like, "Hey, did you go on vacation?" Motherfucker, why you ask me? No, I said, no, I went through something again. And they're like, what? Again? And I was like, again. And I'm like, damn. I said, I be telling myself sometimes, I'm sick of your shit, girl. He starts laughing. I said, I'm serious. I be sick of my own shit sometimes. But I will say this, I'm choosing to see this in this way. This circumstance that I experience, it helped me to see beyond any doubt how supported I am. Um, I have had someone coming to help me with the thing that I need help with, and they're helping me to release a lot of, the pain and stuff. And it's a beautiful thing to focus on. The fact that even if life tried to stop me, there are those who are already positioned within my life to help me navigate and move through that in the most easiest way possible. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it's the easiest way possible. And that's what I'm going to focus on. So it is what it is. I went through an experience that was very intense. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm learning a different way to love myself while encouraging growth. I love that. I love that. Michael says to share. For whatever reason that I don't want to share, not because I'm ashamed, but privacy. Hello. I was working out over a week ago, and I entered into a state that was just a hair before rhabdomyolysis. That's where you stress your body so much. It's usually from traumatic injury or extreme physical straining. And the muscle itself will basically burst and release toxins into your bloodstream. And those toxins, they can severely damage your kidneys. Yes. So, but I didn't go full rhabdo. I didn't. But it definitely helped me to see things that needed to be seen. It definitely helped. It helped. And it's encouraging me to find different ways to love myself. Because your entire life, you'll be tasked to find different angles from which to approach that self-love, different ways to see that self-love, and different channels to deliver and receive that self-love. Sometimes it takes a war to encourage you and empower you to enter into that state of exploration. Maybe this war priming, maybe it's just an aggressive, very zealous way to encourage you to find other pathways to use to love yourself, right? And, it is what it is. It is what it is. I was telling my students over the weekend when I finally was able to have class about more in-depth details of what I was experiencing. And I shared how ridiculously blessed I am to live the life that I live and to have the clients and community that I have. And I say that because it's very difficult for me to reschedule sessions, private sessions with clients. It's very upsetting because I know how much people pay for their session, and even beyond that, the sessions that I had to reschedule all last week, these people have been patiently waiting for 6 months. a long time, a lot of money and a lot of time, and they're waiting. They're waiting. They're counting on me to take care of myself so I can show up when I need to show up. And they're patiently waiting. And it's this acknowledgement that I will always be a people pleaser. I have all these policies and all these amazing, powerful people in place to protect me. But it just really hurts my heart if I have to disappoint someone who's been so patient already and who's trusting me to be able to make a massive difference in their life, and to ask them to wait longer. It just always is such a disappointment for my own heart. And to do that and have them not even be angry and just be like, oh, wow, I hope Emmy gets better. However long it takes, don't worry about it, no rush, please tell her to rest. So then that's like a mini war, that's like a little battle that's occurring inside. And if you want those little battles that carry with it the potential to erupt into a full-scale internal war, you need to be able to see situations with clarity. Even through tears, I had to tell myself, they can see I need to rest, and even if I can't see it, then I will just rest. I will just lay here and exist. And it has to be enough. It just has to be enough. And if I can't see it, the people in my community will show me. My clients will show me. I don't cry when people try and hurt my feelings. I don't cry when people try and destroy me and libel me and slander me and plot and plan for my demise. I don't cry for those things. The things that make me cry is when someone trusts me and waits for me. And because I couldn't foresee how it would play out, because I was so fixated on something else, I couldn't regulate myself to the degree that I disappointed them. And for that disappointment to be met with compassion and grace. I want to say makes it so much worse, but the reality is, it's what I needed. A reminder to be just as patient and full of grace for myself as my clients are for me. It doesn't have to be a war. It can simply be a process of blooming more deeply than you already have. I'm out of time. My session's starting. Reminder, guys, quick reminder. I'll be live on the 29th for the eclipse. I'm going to be doing a fire ceremony. I don't know how many times I'll be live between then and now, but I will for sure be live on the 29th. It depends on how my body's holding up. But if you're interested, go check it out.